Hey everybody, welcome to another Con support video. This one's on sums of consecutive integers. All right, let's get to work and see if I can help you figure this stuff out. So let's go. All right, it says the sum of three consecutive even numbers is 78, okay? So the sum of three consecutive even numbers is 78. What is the second number in the sequence? Well, the first thing is we have to understand that the first number of the sequence would be n. It's the first even number, right? And so we know that n plus, and it says consecutive even numbers. So that means that you're going to be not adding 1, but adding 2. Because let's say the n is the first value that's in this series, right? The next even number wouldn't be plus 1 because the next number would be an odd, right? Plus 1 would make it an odd number. Then plus 2 would make it to an even number. So we know that n plus 2 would be the second number, basically, right? The second even number. And then n plus 3 would be the third even number, right? So what we can see here is that when we were kind of setting up our values here, it says the sum of three consecutive even numbers. So the first is going to be n. The second one that you're adding to that's going to be n plus 2. And the third that you're adding to that would be n plus 4, right? Because let's just hypothetically say that n was 2, right? Even number, start with an even number. Well, what will be the next even number? 4, see? N plus 2 is going to be 2 plus 2, which is 4. And then the next one would be 6, which would be what? 2 plus 4, which is 6, right? So if n is 2, you can see that this would be 2, 4, and 6, right? Three consecutive even integers. So we know that this is going to be three consecutive even integers, and that's the sum of those three. And that the sum has to be equal to 78. So now we're going to put that equal to 78. And we're just going to solve. So all you got to do is you got to combine your like terms. We can see that that's 3n plus the value of the constants there, which happens to be 6, okay, is going to be equal to 78. And now you solve the equation. So you want to get the n's by themselves, right? So take away 6 from both sides. You're going to get 3n is equal to 72. And then you're going to divide by 3 both sides. Now, that's going to give us our first value. Now, 72 divided by 3. Well, 72 divided by 3. 3 goes into 7 2 times. That's 6 with 1 left over. And then 3 goes into 12 4 times. So that's going to be 24. So it looks to me like the three consecutive even integers would be 24. And then add 2 to that, 26. And then add 2 to that. So that's going to be 28, right? So n plus 2, and n plus 4. And those three together add up to 78, right? Watch. 20, 40, 60. And then that's going to be 10 plus 8, which is 18. 60 plus 18 is 78. Works perfectly. All right, so that means it says, what is the second number in the sequence? The second number will be 26. If I can put the number in. There we go. All right, so now we're going to do the next one. And this one says here, where is all this? This one says the sum of three consecutive odd numbers is 183. Doesn't matter whether they're even or odd. If it's even or odd, you're going to add 2, right? So the first odd value is n. The second odd value is going to be n plus 2. The third odd value is going to be n plus 4, same as last time. And then that's going to be a sum of 183. So when we do this, we're going to get n plus n, which is 3n, and then 2 plus 4, which is 6. So 3n plus 6 is equal to 183. You're going to divide both sides. Sorry, my bad. Divide. You're going to subtract 6 from both sides. And you're going to get 3n is now equal to 183 minus 6, which is 177. And then you're going to divide both sides by 3. So that's going to give you your value. So 177 divided by 3. 3 goes into 17 how many times? 3 goes into 17 5 times. It's 15 with 2 left over. 3 goes into 27 9 times. So what that tells you is you have 59 as your first odd integer. All right. The next odd integer would be 61. Add 2 to it. The next odd integer would be 59 plus 4, which is going to be 63. If you add 59 plus 61 plus 63, the sum of those three odd integers should be 183. Watch, 50 plus 120 is going to be 170, and then 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 3 is 13. So 170 plus 13 is 183. It works. Just checked it. So it says, what is the second number in the sequence? The second number in the sequence would be 61. Okay, this one says the sum of 6 consecutive integers is 393. Okay, it says 6 consecutive integers. This time it's not saying even or odd, is it? This time it just says consecutive integers. So that means one after the other, right? Which means that you don't have to do plus 2, you can just do plus 1. So the first one's n. We're going to add the next one, n plus 1. Then we're going to add the next one, n plus 2. Then we're going to add the next one, it's going to be n plus 3. Then we're going to add the next one, it's going to be n plus 4. And so you can see here it's n plus 1 plus n plus 2 plus n plus 3 plus n plus 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. And the next one would be n plus 5, right? So now we have all of our integers, consecutive integers, start with n as the first one. And we know that this whole thing has to be equal to, let me set it equal to 393. All right, cool. So let's combine our like terms. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 n's. So 6 numbers, right? And the additions we have to have here are going to be our like terms here. We got 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, and then 4 is only 10, and then 5 more is going to be 15. So that's going to be 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6, plus 4 is 10, plus 5 is 15. So it'll be 6n plus 15. And then you're going to set that equal to 393. Okay, so that's equal to 393. And then you're going to solve the equation. So you want to get the n's by themselves, so take away 15 from both sides. And you're going to get 6n is now equal to 393 minus 15. So that's going to be 3 take away 5, you can't do it, so you're going to borrow. You're going to make that an 8. It's 13 take away 5, which is going to be 8. And then 8 take away 1 is 7. And then 3 take away nothing is 3. So you're going to get 378. And then you're going to divide both sides by 6, right, to find the value of the first integer. So you get 378 divided by 6. 6 goes into 37 how many times? 6 times, with 1 left over. 6 goes into 18 3 times. So your n is going to be 63. So when you think about these 6 consecutive integers that have a sum of 393, you're looking at 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, and 68. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we were to add all those together, we should get 393. 60 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be 360, I should say. And then you're adding to that 7 plus 5 is 12, plus 6 is 18, plus 7 is 25, plus 8 is 33. And so 360 plus 33 is, in fact, 393. It works perfectly. And it says, what is the third number in the sequence? Well, the third number would be the 65. So we're going to put 65 in, and that's our answer. And then the next one, let's erase this. To our next one. This next one says, the sum of 5 consecutive even numbers is 100. So once again, this is consecutive even numbers. So you got to add 2 each time because you want to skip over the odds. So what you basically get here is you got n plus the quantity of n plus 2, which is the second one, plus the quantity of n plus 4, which is the next one, plus the quantity of n plus 6, which is the next one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I want 5. So plus the quantity of n plus 8. Okay, and that all was equal to 100. Okay, so here's your 5 consecutive even numbers, starting with any even number. If you add 2 to it, you're going to get another even number, right? And these 5 even numbers add up to 100. Okay, so once again, let's combine our like terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 missing number values, so 5n. And then we have our constant, so we're going to add to that our constant value of whatever this is worth, 2, 4, 6, plus 6 more is 12, plus 8 is 20. So 5n plus 20 is equal to 100. And then you're going to solve, so how do you undo plus 20, minus 20 to both sides? You get 5n is equal to 80. How do you undo times by 5? Divide by 5 both sides. And you can see that n is equal to 80 divided by 5. Now, 5 times 10 is 50. 30 more makes it 6 more 5s. So we're looking at basically 10 plus 6, or 16. So 80 divided by 5 is 16. And so that we know the first value is going to be 16, and it's consecutive even integers. So when you add 2 each time, you're going to get our consecutive evens. So the 16 plus 2 is 18, plus 2 is 20, plus 2 is 22, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 2 is 24. 4. So there's our 5 consecutive even numbers, and they add up to 100, right? Let's check it to make sure they do. 10 plus 10 is 20, plus 20 is 40, plus 20 is 60, plus 20 is 80. And then 6 plus 8 is 14, plus 2 is going to be 16, plus 4 is 20. So 80 plus 20 is it 100? Yes, it is. And we have our complete solution now. So it says, what is the first number in the sequence? The first number in the sequence would be 16. And that's how you do this skill, right? So hopefully you guys now have that, and you can see how to do that. So good job.